knocked me out today.
Why do you tell everybody this?
This is a girl channel.
That's the way I'm a dad. That's the way I talk.
Is happening to you right now?
You didn't have 2 admissions.
To take my shower.
Are we on the same thing? He never.
And then I was like, oh my gosh, this test says positive. Ever know that about him? Because that's one of his top secrets.
Not anymore. Thanks. What are we doing? Are we like in the 80s?
Washed out. You look really tan. It's weird.
The truth.
Yeah, if you're as close as I am, though, see if you're washed out.
Still tan.
That's so crazy. That's so crazy, honestly, because I have so much, like my
Say it again.
My blood or whatever is different than yours.
Your blood's thicker than mine?
Different, because I have Native American in me.
Oh my god.
Like, I'm supposed to naturally be dark, and I look so pale. But that's okay. I don't really tan my face, so.
Did you just say you have Native American in you?
I do. Are you finished?
Stuff's addictive.
It's so noisy, though. You can't eat that while we record.
What's the difference between this camera and that other one that you say you want to?
I'm not getting into that right now. It's different and it's better.
What makes it better?
It sees, I can see the detail of what
Obviously the hair
I'm
follicles
doing.
on Jesus for as much as it costs.
Oh, you're so extreme. Yeah, guys, I want a new camera so bad. I've been saying that.
You start a GoFundMe page.
It's so expensive. It really is expensive. But for what it is and for what I do for work, it makes complete sense. But first of all, it will probably really embarrass me with how wacko my hair. You'll probably see, like, wow, Amber, your hair is crazy. But no, it just sees everything. It's better quality for makeup videos. Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's like you're watching high definition, like the best quality movie and cinematic type things. It's crazy.
Wasn't that what you said when we got this one?
This is a vlog. This is more of a vlogging style camera. It's an HD. It's very good. It's the Canon G6 or G7. I think it's it's a G7X. It's a very good one, but it's more like movement and things like that. Like, it's good for that. I'm still going to use it. It's a good camera, but for what I do, sit still, like shots like this, that's not what it was built for.
And then the bigger lens for what?
So you can see detail. You wouldn't film a movie on this thing because you can't see crap.
Oh, we're going to start filming movies?
Not a movie, but I mean in the movie theaters, like, you can see every little detail. And it's like clean, and it's like you're there in person, like that. So, and also, like, me having a monitor, I want to use that computer as my monitor. So I think there's a way to do that because it's an older desktop Mac. And then, like, my camera would hook up to the monitor while I sit here and record it. And that whole screen would be my face instead of this. So I can really see what's going on. We're doing a lot right now. That's not what I'm supposed to be doing. So are you finished?
But I'll pause so I can be my cheerful self.
Thanks. That would be Lovesies. Y'all, Aunt Flo's here, so she knocked me out today.
Why do you tell everybody this?
This is a girl channel.
It's ridiculous.
I can tell you never watch my content.
I don't. I just click. I click on it, I fast forward it to the end, and it says I watched it.
Okay. Anyways, she's here and she knocked me out. I actually don't feel very good right now, but I'm not in pain, so that's awesome. So I was like, let me get this recorded. Y'all know I record every Thursday. That's always ideal. If I can't do a Thursday, I push it to a Friday. If I can't do a Friday, I push it to a Monday. That's always what I do. So if y'all want to know my schedule for recording, that's it. Okay, so I brought Alan in today because we're talking about Cruz's pregnancy. Everything that happened in his was just super unexpected, but I do want to have Alan say anything that he would like to say from a guy's point of view. You don't have to explain anything about Tinley or Maddox's. Well, just our husband's point of view, because husbands obviously probably wives talk to their husbands about certain things if they're going through whatever. I mean, you don't have to explain anything, but you can, like, anything you want to add to about Tinley, do now, because I've shared all the things, which obviously he knows what I've shared. So, anything you want to add?
No, I just think you've shared all the things.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
You have nothing else to share.
I don't understand what you want.
If you want to say anything else about how it affected you, or maybe advice from...
I think it affected me more just seeing you more than... Because, you didn't actually carry the child.
Yeah, so, like, I was diagnosed with something brand new that was different, and then we lost a child. So I gave my point of view from my perspective, because it was happening to me, but it still happened to you. So you don't have to say anything about it. I'm just saying if you want to add to, I mean, I would be happy for you to do that.
I think you covered a lot of it. I mean, I just said... What did I just say?
You said it didn't happen to you. You didn't carry.
Yeah, so it affected me different. It wasn't as... Well, I guess it did seeing it. Seeing Tinley and watching in the mirror.
You're watching what in the mirror?
You do your makeup in the mirror.
That's fine.
Here.
That's fine. Yeah, I just do my makeup while I storytell because it just keeps me busy and keeps the girls busy watching.
Channel.
You don't watch my channel. You actually... I go all the way to the end so it says I watched it. Now we know. It's fine. I get credit on that. That's good. We get a little coin, a little 10 cent, a little something on that.
How we get 10 cents?
I don't know what it is. Whatever it ends up being on the ads that get, that come through. Okay, so yeah, Tinley's. Okay, cool. And then Maddox. Being a diabetic with Maddox, like being pregnant with him, was like a high-risk pregnancy. Was very different than...
I just remember being exhausted. That was it, after he was born.
Oh, you're talking about like after he was born, not pregnancy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was there, but...
Yeah, because we were...
I also just started a business, so...
Oh, yeah, that is when you started your...
I started my business when you had Tinley.
Yeah, because I talked about when I was at your shop and you were doing a custom job. Yeah, he's always been in fencing, but you started your own, like, company at that time, doing fencing work.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and then with Maddox, like, we went to the hospital, and he was like, oh, no, you're having a baby. And we were like, we don't have any of our stuff with us. And he is like, you can go home and get it, but you have to come right back. Normally, I don't let people go home and do that, but y'all don't have anything. Like, you can... Do you remember that? And you also had a full day of work, and I was taking stuff to the nursing home, like, for those, like, little gifts I did for all that.
Yeah, kind of.
Like, that was, like, shocking. It was crazy. I also talked about how you and Mom acted up, and it was like the most stressful environment. So I gave
stressful for you. We were perfectly fine.
Yeah, y'all really were, but for me, I was in so much pain. I thought this is never going to end.
And it was Christmas Eve.
Yeah, and we were in the hospital for a week with him, and then came home.
Yep.
So, and then after that, regular life, bringing a child home, trying to figure it out as new parents. And they act like you know what you're doing, which I think is so shocking, especially even like a baby that was like not having any problems, but a NICU child that had to go, and now you're coming home, now you're paranoid. Is your child going to be okay?
Well, he just had to get his blood sugar up.
Yeah, but then you don't know if it's going to is he going to be okay? Yeah, it was kind of, and we're like, oh, we can put him in a car seat and leave. I think that's so bizarre. I'm like,
I don't want him.
Do we know what we're doing? I don't think so. But we figured it out. Okay, so cruise. So I did talk about I got pregnant with Cruz, and it was kind of unexpected, but I thought I was feeling weird. I remember us all being at home, and then I was like, oh my gosh, this test says positive, right? And I was really little then because I was breastfeeding a lot, and I was walking a lot with Maddox, like in that mom community. I got involved with different moms. I don't even know how I got involved with different moms, but a lot of women were having babies at that time when we met up and walked. But I lost a ton of weight, so I was very little. So when I started gaining with Cruz, I got really big. I was like 108 80, I think, by the time I delivered him. But like, yeah, it was huge. So, I don't remember things being really different from him and Maddox. The only thing I remember is when I got further in the pregnancy, because the same thing kind of happened with him. It was still a high-risk pregnancy. It was still, I was at the doctor very frequently. The difference was is that I had Maddox and now I had Cruz. No, I didn't. No, that's not true. I had a baby being pregnant. I think that was the different part. But Maddox slept really well. He was a good napper. And so we were on a pretty tight schedule as far as like, he would wake up and he would eat and he would play and we would go do something. But then we would come back home and we would I always gave him.
He was on your nap schedule.
He was definitely, yeah, he was on my nap schedule. But I always remember us being very active in the morning, but then we would do a shower at like 12. We would do some type of bath. He always took a bath with me. And we would get clean and smell really good. And then we would get into a clean bed with clean sheets. Like, it was always, you have to take a bath or a shower before we took a nap because we would rest better. And we would sleep for like 3 hours. And I normally watched, and I still do, The Housewives. That's when like DVR was a big thing and we could record our shows. But I watched Housewives because it was recorded, so I could watch that when he was young because he didn't know what was going on. But then he also had shows that he liked. He liked Mickey Mouse Clubhouse and different stuff. But I just remember I just kept with my regular schedule. And I don't know how I didn't stay little, but I gained so much weight with him. But I had cravings and stuff, but I just got big really quick, I felt like. But I was really tired a lot with him. And it was, the further I went along, do you know how many months I was as I was having trouble managing my blood sugar? I always feel like it was past 6 months. Maybe I was like end of the 3rd trimester or something going into the 4th. And I just...
On cruise?
Yeah, well, yeah. But it's like I would wake up. I don't know what Timber you're doing right now with your paws. Hey, you sound like you're tap dancing. But I would wake up and my blood sugar would be very high. Come here. You need to sit down. Sit. Sit down. Sit down. Sit, because your paws are extremely loud. And I couldn't keep them down really. You know, I could kind of get them down. Oh, I do remember, I think I was still on injections. I don't think I was on a pump. I got on a pump after Cruz was born. That was my first pump I ever got. It was the Omnipod that you would fill up with insulin. So like during his pregnancy, I was still doing shots because I still was at the place where I didn't
do Omnipod till later, way later.
I think he was like a year old, but I had both of them because I remember that first appointment we went to, we were all together when I was learning how to do the machine. And it's because it came really hard to manage. Like I just was like, I was, anyways, we'll talk about that another time. But
yeah,
I got to a point where it was really hard to manage my blood sugar. And every appointment I would go to, Maddox was with me. And Alan went to some, but he couldn't go to all of them. I would schedule them during the day where it was obviously like morning appointment or something like that. And he would go if it was like an ultrasound appointment, like you could see the baby or something like that. But typically it was like, let's check your blood sugar, let's monitor the baby, stuff like that. Somebody calling you?
Yeah, I gotta answer this.
Oh. And we're back. I blended that and did some shadow. We had a call come in that we had to take. That was important. I basically just did, if y'all are curious, the e.l.f. foundation, and I'm going to do some bronzing drops because I feel super washed out, and I'm going to do Drunk Elephant bronzing drops. And then I'm just doing my favorite Anastasia Beverly Hills in the Skin by Kim palette and just playing with some shadow. So just doing the all over, basically doing the 2025 trend that I created. The makeup style that I just is my favorite, and I know it's going to be like the best thing ever for your makeup routine next year. So yeah, and I just used the word trend, which I've told y'all it's not a trend. This is a signature style that you're going to want in your pocket forever. But let's shake this. So I don't know where we were. Where were we, Alan? Talking about Cruzy.
I think your diabetes.
I've been talking about my diabetes the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, like, I think I was in like the 3rd and 4th trimester and taking naps and doing things like that. And it just got to a point where it was really, really hard to keep my blood sugar down. But being a new mom, and I was, there's a piece of chocolate right here that is literally on my shirt from taking a nap today, and I fell asleep having a snack. Wow. That's so funny. Real life, guys. But I mean, I would nap and everything. Oh, doctor's appointments. I think that's where I was at. Alan couldn't go to all of them unless they were like major ones. I was like, it's not a big deal. You know, me and Maddox will just go. It's fine. But every doctor's appointment, I felt like turned into something, you know, because it was like, how are you managing? What's going on? They want to make sure the baby's good. The baby's growing. My blood sugar's good. All that stuff. And so my due date with Cruise was the end of December. But once we got to like October, November is when I started having more challenges. And that's when it got really, really hard. And I remember going to several doctor's appointments, and they were just kind of like, okay, let's add to your dose, right? So, and we just kept playing with numbers all the time, like take more insulin in the evening, take more insulin when you eat, maybe avoid these foods, so on and so forth. And so I did a lot of trial and error with him because it wasn't the same as Maddox's pregnancy. His was a little bit more out of control the further along I got, but that was like, it was kind of expected and normal. But with Cruises, it was just very excessive. Like, I mean, I would be in the 300s and I'm like, I don't know why I'm spiking. I'm just spiking all the time. But I couldn't get it down, and that was scary. So in November, I was hospitalized and stayed, I think, for maybe 3 or 4 days. It wasn't really quite a week, but I went to the doctor, and they said, after like an hour of like monitoring him, she said, I don't want you to go home. I need you to go to the hospital. And I just thought maybe like they would have me go to the hospital and just get checked out. But they had me go to the hospital, and I was like worried because I was like, okay, now I have Maddox, so someone's got to watch him. So I think you got him. And I went, and, or you met me there. Maybe you met me there. I don't actually remember how that went down, but I went to triage, and then they took me from triage, and I went and got admitted. And I didn't know I was going to be admitted. And I was like, what is happening? But they were like, we can't send you home until we can find out if your blood sugar is going to be okay, because it's really, really dangerous. And from our history, they just weren't going to take any chances, you know, because their last thing would be is like, if anything ever happened and we lost the baby due to, you know, unmanaged blood sugars, then that would be a really huge problem. So so I ended up staying for several days, and I got to a point where we were able to get me back on a new dosage. And then
What are you talking about?
the first time I was in the hospital in November, but I remember...
You weren't in there for the first time. You were in there for a month.
I went in November, and I was admitted for like 3 or 4 days. I have documents of all of this.
I don't remember any of that. I want to see it. I remember you going in. It wasn't for 3 or 4 days. It was for a month.
Yes, that was the second admission with him. And then they were like, you're not going home until you have him.
That was not. You went in and stayed in. I'm telling you right now, you didn't go in for 2-3 days and check out.
Why is he here? Did it happen to him?
You asked me to come.
My phone.
You begged me to come in here and make this video.
I said come in here because I thought you could shed some light.
I am
From a guy's perspective, but it sounds like you're Delulu. So.
What?
Delulu. So I'm gonna look up 2000 November. And honestly, I don't even think my phone goes back that far. 2015. I don't think my phone goes back that far.
What do you mean you don't think it goes back that far?
From the documents that are in my phone. Look, November 10th. I was in the hospital.
Yes.
November 10th, though.
Yes. You were there in November. You had him in December 3rd.
Then maybe I went in
You were there
October
for a month.
for a little bit.
No, you're wrong.
I had 2 admissions. I don't know what is happening to you right now.
You didn't have 2 admissions. You went in there thinking it was going to be a couple days, and they said, no, you're not going home. It's going to be...
It really doesn't matter because it doesn't.
It does. I mean, you were steadily scrolling through your phone trying to find it.
Anyways, this is what I was trying to tell y'all, is that the hospital had me on food. If I was admitted the first time or it was only one time, whatever it was, I did go in November, like around the beginning of November.
Here's from November 28th.
I'm not showing
You
any
FaceTimed
pictures.
me.
I have not shown any pictures. That is special.
That is not... I'm just showing you, me and Maddox and Aiden were getting trees, and then...
Alan, I'm not showing any. You are so freaking rude right now. I'm not showing pictures.
You not want to show that one?
No, I'm ginormous. Why would I want to
It's
show
not your
that?
belly. It's just your face.
Yeah, it's my my nose expanded a lot, guys. Yeah, I haven't shown any pregnancy images at all, and I'm not going to. So, and it's just like, that's a very, like, I share so much online. I don't need to be sharing all my pictures.
Yeah.
So I was in there. So this was the thing I had a big issue with. So here I am as a type 1. My blood sugar is wild. Y'all have me in the hospital.
You can't be.
What?
Oh, figure it out. So October 31st, here you are, Halloweening.
Yes, I got out. To
This is
trick-or-treat.
October.
I
November
know.
was your thing.
I know.
I'm
just
going back.
got out.
Hold on. No, you didn't just
Do
get
you
out.
want me to call Cherie?
Call her. Because right here, we were at Haley and Ryan's wedding on October 17th.
Yes.
You weren't in there any time before that.
Okay, maybe I didn't get admitted. Maybe I was just there for a long time in the hospital in triage because they were doing all these tests on me, and then I ended up going home because I was scared I was going to miss his Halloween stuff. I was in the hospital.
No, you weren't. You only went in there once.
Literally.
You got admitted in the first part of November.
I cannot. Anybody else have a husband that you want to smack because you're like, I don't know what's wrong with your memory, but mine is great.
What you doing, baby?
Oh, don't share information like that. That's sweet videos. Oh my gosh. I can't think. I cannot think because Alan is distracting me. What are you doing?
I'm trying to prove you wrong.
I don't need you to prove it. There's no proving. It just is what it is. Regardless, I went in and this is what I had an issue with, and I want you to advocate for yourself when you're in places like this because I was so frustrated. Yes, I was so frustrated because they were like, "Oh, we can't control your blood sugar." And oh my gosh, you're gonna have to stay here, all these things. I'm like, okay, right? And in the meantime, this is what you don't want to do. If you have issues with your blood sugar, you want to avoid carbs. Guess what they were feeding me? Bread, peanut butter, sandwiches, like all types of stuff like this, y'all. And like, we're in a position where we're just kind of thinking, we actually haven't done a ton of research, and the internet isn't what it is now, where it's like, this is what these foods do in your system, in your body. There wasn't a ton of education out like that. That was like accessible at your fingertips, right? And so in there, I'm just eating what they give me. But if I would have known more, I would have eaten a very high protein meals, period. Avoid oatmeal, avoid grits, like all these things that they have on my diabetic like plate in the hospital. And family and stuff would come in, our friends, they'd be like, do they really have you eating this? Like, I don't think that's good for you. And I'm like, I don't know, this is just what they have me on, right? Like things like that. And it's very frustrating. So of course I can't control my blood sugar well, because here y'all have me on like the worst diet ever, you know? But they would not let me go home. They're like, you're not going home. So the boys are 23 months apart. Right then, they're like 22 months apart, you know, because Cruz, obviously, I'm still pregnant with him. But he was with Alan like every single day, and I was not home with them, so that was really tough. What's up? There's Maddox right there. What's up, buddy? Yeah, he had that tooth pulled. His bed was so bad last night because he had so much bleeding. It was everywhere. I've been doing all his laundry today, like layers and layers. But yeah, what did you think? Like, what was your take on, like, when you look back on, like, what they fed me? I just always thought that was so crazy looking back. They had the worst dietitian ever. I mean, like, I'm like, why do y'all have me on this? And sometimes I'd be like, can I just have, like, bacon? And they're like, nope, you can't have that. That's not on the diabetic diet. It was protein. It was not on the diet. They're like, you can't have that. Why? Why can't I have that? So I just remember every day I'm like, y'all I felt like I was in prison. I was the worst patient ever because I was like, y'all are keeping me here. I can't eat what I want to eat. I can't even see my child. They would let me go down the hallway, and then I would have family come in and like take me upstairs, and I could eat my meals upstairs in the cafeteria. After a week I had like my blankets, my heating pad, my like wax warmers, all that. And then I was like, well, I kind of want to work. I want to still be able to sell products and do different things. So my family brought like my products in and stuff. And then people at the hospital was like, y'all are keeping me here? I'm gonna sell to y'all. So, and then they had a bank upstairs, like an ATM. So I remember girls on payday would write me checks, get some product, and then I would go upstairs and make deposits. So I was like doing things actively to keep me busy, as much as I could. Alan would come in there and he would be like, well, after work I'll break. Like, nobody had ever babysat Maddox besides like 3 or 4 hours. He was with me every single day. I did baths, I fed him, I changed him, I did all that stuff. So then it got to a point where, like, whenever I was in the hospital, I couldn't. So I relied on friends, family, different things like that. But Alan would get off work and he would bring Maddox up there, and he said he could take a shower with you. And I'm like, perfect. Bring him up here. And so I would wait to take my shower.
Are we on the same thing? He never took a shower at the hospital?
Yes, he did. You would let him do his nighttime routine with me. And I would give him a shower and put on his pajamas
I think
with
you're
me.
dreaming, and you just dreamed it in the truth. I don't remember that, not one time.
Are you okay?
No. Apparently not.
Yes, he took showers with me up there.
Amber, your belly looked like a bomb went off.
I
How in the world
know.
did he take a shower? He didn't take a shower. Why would we take him up there to a nasty hospital to take a shower in?
Because he came,
He came in his pajamas half the time because he fell asleep on the way home.
He did. A lot of times he did, but a couple of times, maybe like 3 times, he came up there and did his nighttime routine.
I don't remember any of that.
Wow.
I'm just telling you, I don't remember what happened.
Do you remember you bringing him there during the day and letting him stay with me, and the nurses were like, you can't do that? Because I was like, drop him off with me just for a few minutes while you did some stuff. Yep. And they're like, you can't do that because if I did go into labor or something happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like a no-no.
No, it was like just to go get food. It wasn't to leave. I didn't leave him there.
No, like you went down the road and came right back. Yeah, they came in and he was like chilling with me in the bed, and they were like, where's your husband? I was like, oh, he left or whatever. And they're like, yeah, you can't do that. But anyways, it was just weird. I was like, I
really don't remember him taking a shower there.
Yeah, he took a shower with me a couple of times. I do remember it because it was a challenge, but I loved it because that's all we knew. I was like, I haven't done a bath with him. I haven't done a shower with him. All that stuff. This is why I think it's so funny because my version to yours is like night and day.
Yeah, it's like a lie.
It's Alan. Are you? You're really on my nerves. No, I don't know what you're saying right now.
Huh?
Then you tell me how the experience it was for you, because I was in the hospital and you were with, like, doing hashtag single dad life. So how was it?
Single dad life?
You were getting him up in the... Yes, you were...
I was taking him next door to Cherie, and she watched him.
I know.
Your mama watched him sometimes. The dog died. All kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Oh, my gosh, we had bloodhounds. And the first time I was admitted.
The one time you were admitted.
The first time.
The first day. The one time.
But I went back home.
You, Amber, I went back home and got you stuff. You weren't allowed to leave. You went one time.
No, my battery's not dead. It's on a
fake camera.
It's on a 15-minute. I went home because I remember going back home. This is why
you didn't go home. You got to confuse with Maddox going home one time to get our stuff and come back. You didn't go home. You went in there and they said we were going to
First
the
of all, why are you yelling?
Well, I'm not. I'm just talking normal. We were going to the appointments up there on that 3rd floor of that hospital in there, and they said you are not leaving.
I can't wait to get documentation of this and just
Get it, and you're going to be proven wrong, and all your followers are going to be fake. Man, going to click off, swipe, go to the next.
Oh my gosh!
It didn't happen. I'm telling you, I was there.
I'm so happy that you were there, because guess who else was there? Me.
Yeah.
It's so stressful with you.
What is the truth?
Okay.
You went in one time. You stayed there for a month. You had him, and then we came home.
Okay. Our dog passed.
Okay, I'll show you that picture.
We don't need to show pictures.
I'm trying to find out pictures because I'm trying to find the date. That's the date that you went in because that's the time that I was there. I was up from the time I dropped you off.
I have so much stuff I wanted to share about this, but my brain is going, Wah!
Don't worry about your brain. What is it? December.
So we had 2 bloodhounds, and they were like 13, 14 years old. They were brothers from 2 different litters. They were the best dogs ever, and they both passed. Maddox knew them, Cruz did not, because they both passed right before he was born. But I will tell you this. So anyways, your food, if they're not feeding you certain food, then have someone bring you certain food from the outside. Because I'm going to tell you something right there. They will feed you crap that's not really supposed to be on a diet for you, depending on your health and why you're in there. And then if they're like, yeah, it's fine. I'm like, oh, it drives me crazy. Because I'm like, I should not have been eating these carbs at all. This is why. Because they wanted me to have injections of insulin. You know, they're like, yeah, just take insulin with your meal, whatever, you know. And they had all the carbs kind of broken down. That's why they did that. But that's very frustrating for me. And then I had people ask, like, well, what would you like in the hospital and stuff like that? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I would love, and I would name something. And one of the things I named was like cherry lemon sun drop. Like, I was not able to have like anything like I would like want to splurge on or something. And I was like, they said I could have it. My doctor came in and they said I could have it. I would love for you to get me like a cherry, like a case, you know, just like a 6-pack of cherry lemon sun drop or whatever. Do you remember this story, Alan?
No.
And
remember, I wasn't, you know, I just told us.
You just weren't there.
You know,
and then
you did everything. This
person came to visit me, and guess what they did not bring me? Cherry lemon sun drop. I walked in, I was like, oh my gosh, were you able to bring it? Did you bring it? And they're like, no. And I was like, why? And they're like, your mom told me not to bring it. And I was like, what did you just say? I was like, the doctor gave me full permission to have this and you didn't bring it. So if you visit anybody in the hospital and they say they told me I can have it, bring them what they want. I felt like I was like in prison and I couldn't leave. And I was so angry that nobody would get me what I was asking. And so that was really hard for me. But I was in there for 5 weeks because, yeah, it was until he was born. They would not induce me or do anything like that. They wanted me to have him naturally. And I remember like every several days my doctor would come in and just follow up. They came in twice and gave me an ultrasound. And the last day, it was December, he was born on the 3rd, so it was December 2nd. A girl came in and she gave me an ultrasound. And I remember like every 4 days I was having meltdowns. I wish I started my YouTube channel then, but I just didn't know. Like, I just didn't know, you know. Now I know more because I could have vlogged and had so much fun doing things like that and just like capturing all this stuff. But I was in there, and anyways, the doctor was like, we're going to do an ultrasound in the morning. So it was like on the 1st. So the 2nd, the tech comes in super early and she gets everything and all the measurements and all that. And remember, I'm huge. And she's like, okay, the doctor will come in and read your results to you. So she came in on the 2nd. Later that afternoon, I remember she was eating a bag of chips. And it was very obnoxious to me because she was acting very like nonchalant, but she was super chill and fun to talk to. But she was like, I think we're just gonna like have like eating. And I was like, she's like, I think we're just gonna have to do a C-section, because I was already gun-ho, like I'm gonna push this baby out. But she was like, we're gonna have a C-section because your baby's very big. He's measuring at like 9 pounds. So he's gonna have a little bit of like shoulder dysplasia. And so getting him out, it would be really horrible for you to go into labor or us induce you and then him get stuck and us have to do an emergency C-section. It might just be safer and best tomorrow, like, to go ahead in the morning and do it. And I'm like, tomorrow? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Because at that point, his lungs were developed. Everything was looking good. And so, yeah, I was like, okay, great. Like, in shock. But I was like, we're going to have a baby, like, on the 3rd. So they had me scheduled that morning. But I want to backtrack to, like, November because that was Thanksgiving. And I was really sad that I couldn't go home for Thanksgiving. And I was like, everybody, and I couldn't decorate for Christmas. I knew I wanted to go ahead and decorate and do everything because I would just be a lot with new baby and then having Maddox at home and just all that. So Alan and the family all got together and they had planned to bring Thanksgiving to the hospital, and they gave us a room that was close to me, and it was like a huge area that they would have meetings and stuff in. And they were like, you can have a huge table and your family come in. And so I left my room and had like all of my family come in. We had Thanksgiving at the hospital, y'all, crock pots, cakes, pies, dishes, like everything. It was so awesome. And it was just really cool that they were like, it doesn't matter, we're gonna have Thanksgiving where you are. I thought that was such a cool thing. And the nurses that were even working during the holidays like that, like, we were like, do you want a plate? You know, it was just really neat because you really get to know the people that are working because you're seeing them every single day. And then Alan went out and he FaceTimed me at the tree lot. Thank goodness FaceTime was a thing because I called them all the time. But they FaceTimed me at the tree lot. And then one of my friends, then, she did like some of our furniture and like did a lot of things for us that we were looking for. But I asked her, like, could you decorate? Like, if Alan got the tree, could you go do the tree and, like, you know, put some Christmas up at the house and stuff like that? I don't have much, but if you can do some things. She's like, yeah. So we paid her to do that. You remember them coming over and doing that? That was really cool. And she added some things that I didn't have or whatever before I told her colors, which I did red and black and something like that. I think that was kind of my thing then, which I look back and I'm like, it's not my thing now. But that was really nice. So, like, people were doing things that were just really helpful and caring. And that's what I noticed then. I was like, it really makes a difference when you have a community of people that you can, like, lean in to and help. But then after we had Cruz, he never went to the NICU. He was just a fatty McFatty, honey. He was big. He was not 9 pounds. So the next day when I had him, he was 10, 11. So he was very big. And I was like, oh my gosh, like their measurements were just way off. He was just a really big baby. And to you as a parent, you're just like, oh my gosh, he's the cutest little thing I've ever seen in my life. They're like, they kept telling me he's the biggest baby in this hospital. I'm like, what? So he was really, really chunky. And I couldn't imagine going full term with him because he would have been huge. You know, there's just no way. So, but he did really good with nursing and going potty and doing things like that. And we were able to come home from the hospital like 3 or 4 days later. Angel actually came, my sister, and stayed with me for like I think she stayed one night. Oh my gosh. And I have this video. I would never play this though because she would kill me. But
you just tell everybody in that way.
Yeah, she stayed. And I was like she was there to like really help me, and she did. But in the evening, I would get up and nurse. She was snoring. She has snored my whole life, but she was snoring, and I was nursing Cruz, and I was up, and I kept thinking, if she does not shut up, and I would go, Angel, 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 like that, and she would not budge. I threw a freaking pillow at her, and she was like, woo, woo. And I was like, you were snoring so loud. And our room where they had moved us to after I gave birth to him, it was like by the elevator. So all night I heard ding, ding, like that. And then I got her snoring over here. And then I'm just trying to like sleep and have him. Oh my gosh, it was crazy. But he did really well. He checked all the boxes that they needed him to or whatever. And yeah, I mean, it was kind of wild, but then my blood sugar really subsided after that, and it got really super like back to normal. But it took me a while to get off the weight, and I really did get off all of the weight because I was like around between like I remember I got down to like 107 at one point, but I was like around 110, 112 when I got pregnant with him. I got up to like 1 179, 180 when I was like gonna give birth to him, like I had my C-section, and I ended up getting back down eventually to like 130s or something, and I've never gotten lower than that, and now I'm like around 140, 143, depends on the day. So I just know if I exercise, I can definitely get the weight off. I eat as clean as I can eat. You know, I'll splurge like on some homemade trail mix. It's so addictive. But like I eat now, I was on 5 years of eating just no meat. So now I'm like on more of a higher protein eating routine. But so those were my pregnancy stories, you guys. So if you've ever been hospitalized through pregnancy or anything like that, I would love to know. Y'all have been really awesome in the comments just telling me about your experiences, and several of y'all have had stillborns as well, which my heart goes out to you too. That's really tough. But then have had successful pregnancies after that. And it's amazing what our bodies can do, but mentally too. Like, I don't know. I think the best thing for me was like just getting pregnant fast after that. And like, I think that carried me through. But honestly, I didn't deal with, every time I talk about it, I cry.
Your tissues.
I know, I got these for my nose, not for my eyes. I didn't want to cry. Anyways, do you have anything you want to say?
No, you were wrapping it up, I thought.
Yeah, but, I mean, anything before I wrap it up?
No. You were just there one time, pretty sure.
You are funny. But I didn't really deal with the trauma of all of that until like honestly 2 years ago. But I do things now that trigger me like insane, which I'm gonna do my makeup. I have an idea. I am a nut job as a parent, and Alan can vouch for this, but if anything happens to the kids, it doesn't matter. Like if we're in public, something recently just happened when we took them on a trip to Great Wolf Lodge, where somebody said something to one of the boys and it really upset me. And like, if anything happens to the kids, like if anybody says anything, or if it's school, or if it's like a doctor thing, or if it's an injury, like it doesn't matter. If it's our kids related to that at all, I go from 0 to 10 very quickly.
10? You stopped at 10?
100. I do. And I don't do it out of like, I'm pissed off. I'm just going to tell you how it is. And this will never happen again. Or this will happen because it's my child. Like, you know, like Alan and I are really good at like, I feel like we're great at advocating. Like if we need something, want something, don't like something, we're quick to say it. We're not one to let people just kind of like, Alan's very much like chill, soft-spoken, but also very, when he does speak, he means what he says type thing. But for me, I'm just like, I'm a clap back, and I'm going to match the energy that I need to match.
Did you say you're a clap back?
Yeah.
I'd like to see that. You're a clap back. You have another kid.
Oh, that's what that means? No, clap back. Like, bop, bop.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And anyways, that's just how I am. So I think I'm going to, let me know what y'all think about it. If you've made it to the end, drop a heart emoji. That's it. Just drop a heart emoji in the comments if you've made it this far. And then I want you to know, type in here, Storytime 2025, because I'm in this phase every year. I'm like, what do y'all want the most of? And y'all want makeup. But then so many of y'all want to hear different stories and things. So it's kind of mixed. And then sometimes when I do just makeup videos, sometimes they do well and they perform well. Sometimes they don't. So my YouTube channel is in this phase of like figuring out kind of what's going to perform the best, but also you get the most out of it. So anyways, I obviously want to do a YouTube channel that has success and views and all the things. So, but yeah, I think I would really love to share stories of things that have actually happened. And anyways, we'll see. And then let me know. So Storytime 2025, if you're interested in that. And even if you're not, I'll probably still share. No, I'm just kidding. Let me know. But if you made it this far, put a heart emoji. But anyways, anything you want to say, Alan? You know what I want to know?
I'm not going to be here for a story time 2025. Make sure you don't tell lies.
First of all, I don't tell lies. It's just what my brain remembers.
Yeah.
You know, some people I think wonder
Yes.
how you and I end up working because our personalities are so different. So do you have anything you want to tell the people? Do you feel trapped? Are you forced to be here?
Is this TikTok or what is this?
I don't know. No, not just that. I just think in general, people like, even in our real life, they are like, y'all are so different. Y'all couldn't be more different. But they're also like, we give each other both a hard time equally. But we also like, it's been 20 years and like, we just know each other well. So I have zero patience. Anyways, I'm like, I ain't got time for that.
You have zero patience?
Yeah, I'm just zero chill. Zero chill.
I just love you more than you love me, so that's probably the only reason. You're laughing, I'm being dead serious.
That's not true. What is wrong with you? Alan's more affectionate than I am. He is a magnet. He is a magnet, not PDA. He is not a PDA, nor am I. And I'm not even a PDA in private. I don't know, the older I get, I'm very claustrophobic. Alan loves, I have this camera on a 15-minute timer so it doesn't just like kill my battery. But Alan loves to just like smother me and then I can't breathe and then I'm having a panic attack. It's just a lot. That's why he says that he loves me more than I love him, because that's actually not true. He's very affectionate. But no one would ever know that about him, because that's one of his top secrets.
Not anymore, thanks.
Honestly, the funny thing about Alan is that people think he's so mean. They're like, he's so mean when you don't know him. And I'm like, girl, I'm like, he ain't mean. He's annoying as heck. And he actually is mean. Sometimes he can make jerk comments. He can say things and you're like, that was really mean. That was very hurtful. But like, he actually has a very, very, very big heart. So those that know him don't take him seriously when he's trying to be a jerk. But he can do a little cut down. He can cut.
What are we doing? Are we like in the 80s?
I keep saying these words.
Yeah.
And it just...
Clap back,
cut down. What else have I said?
I don't know. You're making them up as we go.
I really am. I don't talk like that in real life. They just come. They come to me naturally. It's a very organic conversation.
Yeah.
Well, that's all we got, guys. That was Cruz's. I feel like Cruz's birth story. I literally had different plans for that and all the things in my head.
Yeah, it's because they were all wrong.
You threw me off.
I didn't throw you off. I told you the truth.
It was just very hard. And I share some about my diabetes on my Instagram. So if you go to my Instagram, you can see that. But I am a type 1. And my honeymoon phase is over. And I'm on Novolog and Tresiba. And I take injection shots. I wear a Dexcom on my stomach that goes to my phone. And actually it says Dexcom right there, right? Can you see it? Dexcom, that's the app. And that tells me my blood sugars. So I kind of know what's going on. I spike and I go high. My mood swings are wild. So...
Let's not expound on that at all.
Yeah, it is. And honestly, I think a lot of it has to do with I'm a mom. I think they would be that way anyways. And the second reason is because my blood sugar is not like a managed level 24/7.
What was the mom comment?
My mood swings because I'm a mother.
I know plenty of people that are mothers that don't have mood swings.
Yes, you go from like frustration to like, yay.
Normal. I'm a dad.
You definitely have mood swings. Now, I could bring you up in this, but I did not. I said me. You see how I'm not really coming for you, but you were constantly coming for me.
Excuse me?
You are.
just revealed secrets about me.
What did I reveal? Do you see the lighting, how it changes so bad on this camera? My other one won't do that.
Yeah, we definitely have to refinance our home to get the other one. So.
it's a lot. It's not.
We're making movies.
It's not that extreme, Alan. Calm down. First of all, I was like, I'm going to go ahead and get the camera. This is a purchase we will make together. Alan's like, don't you do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I know what you need. I know what you need.
Listen to the statement.
What?
Say that statement again. Say that statement again.
What did I say?
Say it exactly how you said it.
We are going to make a
No.
purchase together.
You just said, hey, Alan, I'm going to go ahead and buy this camera so we can make this purchase together. Not, hey, let's discuss the pros and cons. What's better? What's this? This is an investment because it's definitely not just a normal camera. It's, I'm going to buy it. And so we can go ahead and have it. That's what you just said.
Your voice is so elevated for what?
That's the way I'm a dad. That's the way I talk.
Oh gosh. People also think my laugh is like a trigger for them. I don't know why people are triggered by my laugh.
I don't care what any.
They think my laugh is like.
Say.
You know what? Let me be honest. I feel like I keep referencing another app, which is the TikTok app. They have a lot to say. Y'all are my real people. Y'all been here with me literally the day since I've been on the internet. So thank you for being ride or dies. I'm really seeing a lot of comments that are like aging me.
Not really. Ride or die is normal.
Is it?
Yeah.
What about slay?
I've never heard that.
Like slay, yes.
Mm.
You've not heard that
I think
phrase?
that's the way you say it makes it worse.
Slay. All right, we're gonna go, guys. We're gonna cook dinner.
Oh.
We're gonna do grilled cheese and tomato soup.
Mm.
That was the vote, or it was hamburgers. So we're doing grilled cheese. I'm not eating any of that because I can't. So it's fine by me. I'm actually not very hungry. Remember Aunt Flo's here? She's a lot to me. She's a lot. She's a beast. Beast mode. Alright, we'll see ya. It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
See you in 2025. No, I'm just kidding. I'll be back next week.